Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be in this weird, wide, wacky world of ours, and welcome to another exciting installment of Living World of Darkness, Draculus, as Jake has so promptly named it. The scene begins in the La Sombra Abbey, the Priory of the Blazing Heart, as Abbot Salamanca begins his evening. begins his evening. I do beg your pardon. In a dark, unlit room to the back of the priory, far away from the prying eyes of the other monks. He kneels in a circle with black runes that have been carved into the floor, and softly hums and sings the words of enchantment and binding, in order to bring forth something from the very nether regions of the abyss, a servitor of a kind, in order to keep him safe in these uncertain evenings. He sings the last syllables, hums them to himself, as the vitae that he must spill is spilled upon the dark runes, and they begin to writhe and flick, possessing as they do a near unlight. This is not, you understand, darkness, no, more the absence of any kind of brightness that fills the room in a swirling miasma. Yes, that's sorry. It's successes on nines, I do beg your pardon. But that is still a buttload of successes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At the end of the ritual, he stands. The darkness coalesces into what is more or less a physical form, the form taking the appearance of what is almost a black knight, a knight clad for battle in armor from head to foot, of the blackest obsidian. It calls out with its dark eyes, hungering as it does. The abbot simply smiles and looks at his handiwork. The creature will obey his every command until it is destroyed or dismissed, before the abbot will turn to the other occupant of the room and offer him a smile and a cock of the head.
On the floor, on the ground, and away from the ritual circle, head almost touching the ground. Yeah, obviously in awe, deferring his eyes from such a majestically wonderful beast. He would look up at the Black Knight and it's the somber master, and just awe in the eyes, just absolutely struck, as if as if seeing divinity ahead of him. Blood tears roll down the sides of his cheeks. He stares longingly, as if as if seeing a god walk amongst him. There's this silence and just awestruck. He's just awestruck at the sight ahead of him. Despite his craven appearance, he is absolutely at one with his faith right now, and he sees absolute beauty in what is ahead of him, what is before him.
Salamanca looks somewhat drained would be a harsh word, but he looks drawn after the ritual, and he will take a seat at a desk to the other side of the room, away from the dark etchings on the floor, before asking, "Brother Craven, would you be so kind as to replace the carpet so that the sigils do not disturb our brethren, please?"
"At once, my lord," he says in a voice that's guttural, strained, rising up from his position with a swift movement. He starts rolling up the carpet carefully, softly, as if handling an ancient relic of prestige. He carefully envelops it in another satin cloth, and hefts it over his shoulder. Whilst this thing may weigh a ton, not weigh a ton, but weigh more than a normal man may carry, the brother Craven easily hefts it as if it is not a thing.
The abbot will look to the shadowy monster that he's brought forth from the abyss, and he will simply say, "Your command is simple. You will protect this establishment, this priory, and its inhabitants from any harm that may befall them, and in exchange you will be sated." The knight will simply nod his head before casually turning and walking to one side of the room, his head downcast, a sword that appears to be made from shadow being placed under both of his hands as he stands vigil. So, brother, there have been odd tidings of late, very odd tidings.
My father, tell me, I am but an extension of your will.
For a start, the room, in reference to this, he is speaking of the portal that not even he dares to enter at the opposite end of the priory, that is the doorway, quite literally, into the heart of the abyss. Requested that I give offering to it the Bruja known as Duke Augustus. He has been there, and he has been returned to us, no doubt for some greater purpose.
He has touched the divine shadow. He has come out.
Yes.
Does he?
However,
Forgive me, my lord. Forgive me.
However, he is not the same man who entered. I feel as if he has been tested by the abyss and has been found wanting. His mind has been shattered, and he perceives things that are no longer there. Maybe he was weak.
There are not many who would survive such a heavenly, divine thing. What is your will, my lord?
There have also been talk of demons, great entities of stone and flesh, making their presence felt in the Prince's Elysium. This is something I am interested in. They have stirred up the kindred, something that is primal, something that they fear. I would have information on what occurred in the sanctum of the Prince's Elysium, and I would have you acquire it for me.
My lord, consider it done.
Excellent. You will leave tomorrow evening. The night has already worn on. Apparently, the Tramir have been summoning things that they perhaps should not be. How naughty of them. The Primogen's hand kind of goes to his chin as he massages it, clearly deep in thought.
Brother Craven looks on as if given a divine purpose. There is a spark of joy, contentment, oneness with purpose in his eyes as he stares. He knows his goal. He looks forward at the bishop. He looks longingly at the commands. In his eyes, a cruel cunning ticks as if foretelling a future of things to come.
Now then, you are to be, when you go from here into the Avaloin proper, you are to be on your best behavior, you understand.
But of course.
Find me the information I require, and you will be richly rewarded. Yes, richly rewarded.
The only reward I need, no, I desire, is to serve the purpose, the true purpose to root out the heresies, to destroy them where they lay, to stop their infernal grasps on this world, to root them out and make it all clean, pure, so we may continue to exist under his divine shadow.
Yes. For was it not Cain who stood in the shadow of the Almighty, and who was blessed by him to give us the blood that we now possess?
Indeed, the thrice damned and the thrice blessed, whom blood we all carry, our forefather, the first amongst the mortals to glimpse the abyss.
Indeed, my child, indeed. So, tell me, do you have anything you wish to confess to the abyss, so that you may go light-hearted into the world?
I carry sins on me. I carry the sin of envy. I carry the sin of lust. I carry the sin of desire. I carry the sin of wrath. I carry heavy burdens for uh, for the thought of such misgivings against our against the true purpose fills me with such anger, such righteous fury.
You have spoken these words to me, and through me to oblivion. So your sins shall be as oblivion, and shall be sucked away from you and forgotten. Know that you are pure in the eyes of the Nothing.
My Lord Oblivion, I thank you. You have given me a great blessing. My soul is lighter. I shall carry forth your word. I shall be your sword. I shall be your wrath.
Good, good. Now, you may leave me, brother. I have much work yet to do this night, and you must prepare yourself for your coming ordeal.
And with that, Brother Craven drops to the ground, bowing, drops his on the ground, his knees, his face in the dirt as he shows an absolute deep respectful bow towards his lord before shuffling back with the roll of carpet in his hands.
It is going to be a very interesting evening, the bishop says, or the abbot says, as he calmly lifts his glass of red liquid to his lips and taps it with a finger nonchalantly. A very interesting evening indeed. And shall we call it there?
Indeed.